Hi, so I did the first case. So this is Mrs. H, and Mrs. H, I'm seeing her today because she is post-op day 3 for a AAA resection. Just kind of a brief overview about her. Her AAA was 8 centimeters in size. She spent 3 hours on the OR table and then another 2 hours under general anesthesia. Her past medical history, she's got untreated bladder cancer, a 47-year PAC history, and she also experienced a TIA 3 years ago. Currently, there are no medications listed. For her social history, she lives with her husband in a house with 1 flight of stairs. Currently, when I came into Mrs. H's room, she's awake, alert, and oriented. Her breathing is shallow and rapid, and she's got a little bit of pain. There was also a chest x-ray that was associated with this case. And upon looking at the chest x-ray, there was a couple different things that I noticed. It looked like there was a little bit of cardiomegaly, which corresponds with the AAA. Potentially there was some atelectasis from undergoing the surgery and the lack of deep breathing and the prolonged bed rest that came with the surgery, and then maybe a little bit of pleural effusion in the lower lobes of the lungs. And then she also had an elevated pH, a decreased PaCO2, and then her normal HCO3. So I just want to keep in mind that she might have a little bit of respiratory alkalosis going on, and she might, coming in, because her breathing is shallow and rapid, she might have some increased respiratory rate and a little bit of labored breathing. So I'm going to start by doing my systems review on Mrs. H. I'm going to start by doing blood pressure. We don't have a pillow. I would put a towel roll under her arm, but I currently do not have one nearby, so we're just going to roll with it. Alright, Mrs. H, have you had your blood pressure taken before?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so you're familiar. You're going to feel a little bit of a pinch and then... Alright. Just hang tight for me. So for Mrs. H, I would expect to see an elevated blood pressure just because of the surgery she just underwent and the AAA. There's probably just going to be increased pressure from that said the AAA. The next thing I'm going to do is do your respiratory rate and heart rate. So we're just going to hang out here for a minute. I think there's a little kids party going on at the pool, so if you hear cheering in the background, I apologize. Great. So for Mrs. H, I would expect to see an elevated heart rate and an elevated respiratory rate, once again kind of coinciding with her smoking history and with her AAA. And then I would do pulse ox, which I'm expecting to be low. So I would expect Mrs. H, her SpO2 to be a little bit low. Oh, thank you. Okay. Then, because she had the surgery and she's been on bed rest, I just want to check her neurosenses or sensory screen and just make sure everything's good before I start working with her. And then I would also, while I'm doing this, just kind of take a look. I want to look at those lines that she's got in and make sure that they're looking nice and clean. I'd also want to look at her incision and make sure that it's covered and clean and there's nothing there. And because she's been in bed and she had that long surgery, it'd be really important to check for bed sores on her, especially on her feet and on her elbows. Looking good. And now I'm going to do my sensory screen. So Mrs. H, I'm going to have you close your eyes and I'm just going to be touching different parts of you. Here is what it's going to feel like. Will you just let me know if it feels same or different?
Yes. Same. 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 Same.
Good. Now we're going to do just a quick MSK screen. So I just want to check your strength and just kind of see what we're looking at before we start doing bed mobility or getting out of bed. So can you bring your arms straight up overhead for me? Just keeping them nice and close. There we go, perfect. And can you bring your arms up? Great. And can you lift your wrists? Great. And can you lift each of your knees up off the table? Great. And can you kick your feet out and point your toes? Great. So now I'm just going to check your, we'll just do your wrist since she does have that, she did have that surgery. I just don't want to mess since it's only been 3 days. So we're just going to check your wrist strength. Can you curl your hands up? Great. Don't let me pull you down. Great. Don't let me pull you down. Great. And can you flip your wrists? Pull back up. Don't let me pull you down. Great. Once again, don't let me pull you down. Great. And now can you bring this knee up straight towards the sky for me? Great. All right. Don't let me push you down. Great. So this side, straight up the sky. Don't push you down. Great. All right. Can you kick your knee out? All right. Can you come about halfway back? All right. Don't let me push you back towards the table. Okay. Don't let me push you back out towards the computer. All right. Can you point your toes straight up at the sky? Don't let me push them down. Great. Same with this leg. Kick it out and bring it back about halfway. All right, don't let me push you back down towards the table. All right, don't let me bring you out towards the window. Okay, and then can you bring your toes straight up towards the sky? Don't let me push you down. Great. So she's full strength, but I would expect Mrs. H to probably be decreased strength just because she, her past medical history, she's been in the hospital for 3 days, she hasn't been moving, and she did undergo a pretty major surgery. I also want to make sure that when I'm in here, I want to be kind of observing her posture. Although it's not stated in the case, I would assume Mrs. H is probably a little bit slunched over. She's probably using her accessory muscles for breathing quite a bit. She's short of breath, and just making sure she's not cyanotic because she is short of breath. So Mrs. H, I'm going to listen to your heart now. Because Mrs. H had that AAA, I would expect that she maybe has some stenosis and buildup that has kind of carried back towards the heart. So there's 4 points I'm going to be listening to. One here, one here, one here, one here. my heart auscultation. And then for the lungs, listen to your lungs now. So I'm going to be listening here, 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 and then here and here. So every time I listen, I just want you to take a nice deep breath for me, in through your mouth, out through your mouth. Okay. All right, same thing. 8 points though on the back again. So looking at the lung sounds, because of her undergoing that surgery, I want to make sure that she didn't experience any pulmonary edema. So there I'd be looking for kind of those wet rails, decreased breath sounds, or my other hypothesis is that she might have some emphysema from smoking. And so I want to make sure that she doesn't have any wheezes that would be associated with her emphysema. So the next thing I'm going to do is a cough assessment. So Mrs. H, can you just give me a nice big cough? Beautiful, thank you. So for the cough assessment, I want to be looking for the chronic cough that is associated with emphysema, and then the productive, non-productive cough that can be blood-streaked, and that comes from the atelectasis from undergoing the surgery. Next, I want to do palpations. So I would start with doing accessory muscles. Then I would take a nice deep breath for me, and I'm just going to rest my hands on top of your shoulders. Okay. Now, with Mrs. H, I would expect to see increased accessory muscle usage to try to help herself since she is short of breath. Then I would like to, the rest of the palpations right here, another deep breath for me. Great. You still feeling okay, Mrs. H? Mm-hmm. All right, and then from the back, I'm just coming right around the bottom of your straps. Nice deep breath. Great. And then Mrs. H, I'm going to have you just lay down for me so I can do one more. One more nice deep breath for me. Great. So now, for this case, with the chest motions, I would expect to see some decreased chest motion. She did just undergo this major chest surgery. Do you want to sit back up for me? So I'm going to do my Frementis test next. So Mrs. H, I'm just going to be putting my hands on you, on the front and on the back, kind of in this shape. And every time I put my hands on you, can you just say 99 for me? So like, it's going to look like this. 99, 99, 99. Does that sound okay with you? All right.
99, 99, 99, 99.
Okay. The back.
99, 99, 99, 99, 99, 99, 99, 99, 99.
And then with the frematist, I don't think that I would expect to find anything. I don't think that I'm going to find anything because I don't think that she has too many secretion buildup. I'm going to do immediate percussion next, so I'm just going to be, once again, placing my finger on just different parts of your chest, and I'm just going to be tapping. So I don't need you to do anything right now, I just need you to relax, and I'm just going to be listening. Okay, so with that, sorry, I lost my place. I would also expect that to be normal, because I don't think that she would have any resonance coming from the immediate percussion. And then with the palpation, so just to summarize my palpations, I want to make sure that I'm looking for a barrel chest because that is associated with emphysema. And I also want to communicate with her about whether or not when she's breathing in deeply, if that causes her pain. And then moving on to my activity evaluation, because she has increased fatigue, I want to take a lot of breaks throughout my time with her. And I also want to be checking my vitals every time we do a positional change and noting those in my documentation, because I would expect to see her to have increased blood pressure, increased heart rate, increased respiratory rate, decreased SpO2. I just want to be monitoring those throughout our session. And then for my assessment of function, because she has not gotten out of bed yet, I would probably start with bed mobility, and I would expect her to probably be moderate assist, potentially max assist, because she did have this major surgery. So I would just work on bed mobility and work on getting her comfortable with rolling and with scooting herself around in bed before I tried to do edge of bed and then ambulating throughout her hospital room. So a brief summary, this was Mrs. H. She was status post day 3 on a AAA resection. She had bladder cancer, a history of smoking, a TIA. When looking at her systems review, I would expect to see increased respiratory rate, increased blood pressure, increased heart rate, and a decreased SpO2. I'd want to make sure that I'm checking first stenotic vessels and any wheezing or rales in her lungs that could be associated with some kind of pulmonary edema, atelectasis, or wheezing from her surgery or from her smoking history. I want to just make sure that her cough assessment, that she doesn't have a productive cough. And if she does, we can work on coughing techniques. And I just want to be monitoring her vitals throughout our session. Thank you.